Did you know that America has renewed its commitment to space exploration? In this video, we'll discuss the recent National Space Council meeting and the Interagency Roadmap to support space-related STEM education and workforce. Plus, we'll tell you about the private sector's role in space exploration and NASA's plans for the future. So sit back and enjoy as we uncover all this and more. Space exploration has been a topic of conversation for centuries, but in the past few decades, interest in space exploration has waned. The United States has not sent a manned mission to space since July 8, 2011. STS-135 was a 12-day mission to deliver supplies, equipment, and a crew of 4 astronauts to the International Space Station, ISS. This was the last mission of the NASA Space Shuttle Atlantis and marked the end of the Space Shuttle program after 30 years of operation. The last manned mission to the Moon was Apollo 17, which launched on December 7, 1972. And since then, there's not been any attempt to send a manned mission to the Moon. However, that may soon change. The National Space Council is a group composed of government leaders and private sector representatives who advise the President on space policy. On September 9, 2022, the National Space Council convened for the second time since it was re-established in 2017. At this meeting, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris pledged her support for a renewed American commitment to space exploration. This renewed commitment could not come at a better time. There are many exciting missions being planned by both government agencies and private companies. These include sending humans to Mars, mining resources from asteroids, and establishing permanent colonies on the Moon. There are many challenges that need to be overcome in order to make these missions a reality. But with the support of the National Space Council, we can once again become a leader in space exploration and inspire future generations to reach for the stars. The Interagency Roadmap to support space-related STEM education and workforce will ensure that there is a pipeline of talent for future space endeavors. The roadmap will guide federal agencies in their efforts to support space-related STEM education and the workforce with the goal of maintaining U.S. leadership in space. The roadmap was developed by the National Space Council's Task Force on Space-Related STEM Education and Workforce. The task force is made up of representatives from 16 federal agencies, as well as the private sector and academia. The roadmap outlines 3 goals for federal action. 1. Increase participation in space-related STEM education and training programs. 2. Increase the number of qualified individuals in the workforce for space-related occupations. And 3. Increase the diversity of the space-related workforce. The roadmap also identifies 10 key recommendations for federal action, which are organized around these 4 goals. The recommendations call on federal agencies to invest in research and development, provide financial support for STEM education and training programs, create opportunities for internships and fellowships, expand public-private partnerships, and increase outreach to underserved communities. The roadmap is a living document that will be updated as needed to reflect changes in the field of space-related STEM education and workforce development. The Vice President also announced a new coalition of space companies that will focus on increasing the space industry's capacity to meet the rising demand for a skilled technical workforce. The National Space Council issued a report last week calling for a renewed commitment to American leadership in space. The report noted that the United States is falling behind China and other nations in the race to develop new space technologies. The goal of the coalition is to increase the number of qualified workers so that the United States can maintain its position as a leader in space exploration. The partners in the coalition include some of the biggest names in the space industry, such as Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and SpaceX. The coalition will work with education and training organizations to create programs that will prepare American workers for the jobs of the future. NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, has been at the forefront of developing new technologies for space exploration. The agency's commitment to innovation has led to major advances in our understanding of the universe and our place in it. NASA's continued investment in research and development will ensure that we remain at the cutting edge of space exploration for years to come. The Moon is an important destination for future space exploration. with multiple missions planned by NASA in the coming years. The Moon is a natural stepping stone on the way to Mars and other destinations, and it offers unique opportunities to test new technologies and gain experience operating in deep space. The return of humans to the Moon will also allow us to better understand the origins of our solar system and the universe, and could provide clues to some of the big questions that scientists are still trying to answer. NASA is taking important steps in making sure that we maintain our position as a world leader in this field, and that we continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. Mars is another key destination for space exploration, and NASA is planning to send humans to the Red Planet in the 2030s. The National Space Council has identified Mars as a top priority for American space policy. The Council is working to develop a plan that will enable humans to establish a permanent presence on Mars and eventually colonize the planet. There are many challenges to overcome before humans can set foot on Mars, but the rewards of doing so are immense. The Red Planet holds the key to understanding our own origins, and it could be the key to ensuring the long-term survival of our species. There are many reasons why colonizing Mars is important for our species. The first reason is that it would allow us to better understand our place in the universe. By exploring and understanding Mars, we can gain a greater understanding of Earth and our place in the solar system. By establishing a human presence on Mars, we can mitigate the risk of human extinction. The second reason is that it would allow us to expand our economic and technological capabilities. By developing new technologies and exploiting Martian resources, we can greatly improve our standard of living and expand our economic power. Finally, by establishing a human presence on Mars, we can ensure the long-term survival of our species. The exploration and settlement of Mars will be an immense challenge, but it's one that we must undertake if we want to ensure the future of our species. The future of space exploration is bright. The second convening of the National Space Council signals a renewed commitment to space exploration by the United States government. This is good news for everyone who believes that space exploration is important for the future of humanity. Space exploration is essential for understanding our place in the universe and discovering new worlds and potential habitats for life. It also has immense practical applications, providing us new technologies and resources that can be used to improve life on Earth. The recent discoveries of water on Mars and ice on Jupiter's moon Europa are just two examples of how space exploration can have a profound impact on our lives. With the renewed commitment from the U.S. government, we can expect to see more progress in space exploration in the years to come. This is an exciting time to be involved in space science and engineering, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what the future holds for us. Space is the final frontier. The first time we sent a person to space was a major achievement for humanity as a whole. The second time we did it, it signified our commitment to explore and understand what lies beyond our planet. In recent years, however, America's commitment to space exploration has wavered. The second convening of the National Space Council is proof that we are renewing our commitment to this important area of study. By leading the way in space exploration, we can ensure that we remain at the forefront of this rapidly evolving industry. With new technologies and discoveries just around the corner, there's no telling what we may find when we venture out into the great unknown. So let's strap in and enjoy the ride, because the best is yet to come.